Do you want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
Come? Alright, I'll do my own bits myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
I had a terrible nightmare, and you were there, but you weren't there, which was odd last week. So welcome
That's
back.
right. Thank you. I'm happy to be back. But before we get started, great job, Sustaina, covering for me last week. Thank you so much for jumping in. It was great to always see a fresh face. Nerd Glasses, I was watching from home, and it was really great to have another person on the show that blew your mind with news about a recently released game. Like, it was fantastic. I really hope that we can continue that going. Like, next time that I need to take a sick day or something, I just want Joe from Geek for All to come in and regale Dave with tales about the newest Spider-Man game, where you don't play as Peter Parker, you don't play as Miles Morales. No, Spider-Man is J. Jonah Jameson, swinging around the city and trying to keep a mask on so that no one finds out that he's actually Spider-Man, and he has to go back and scream about Spider-Man is a menace, while knowing deep inside that he is the menace. And I just think that would be really great for Joe to blow your mind with that kind of shit.
Well, way to spoil the next set of Spider-Man movies, by the way.
I mean,
Marvel,
number one,
we're
that's
getting points on that film, by the way.
number one, that's low-hanging fruit, so Joe will have to come up with something else. Number two, I want to see that, Sony, please. I actually want to see, for some reason, the mantle of great responsibility falls on the shoulders of J. Jonah Jameson. That would be amazing.
Ariella, we are always excited to have guest hosts, as Boder and I are both fallible and extremely fragile.
Yeah, I've come down with sickness a couple times in the past months. Not the big sick, but that's why this is staying on. I'm still, you can hear a little bit of a fry, a little bit of a fine, whatever. But
You did what?
ooh,
Yes. There is
Feel
a
better.
video of
Thank
J.
you.
Jonah Jameson wearing the suit.
So let's get started talking about a Twitch ban. I don't have one, Dave, because me looking for Twitch bans today, all I found was news sites covering like, he's still banned from Twitch, but here's what Dr. Disrespect is gonna do now. I don't fucking care. Go away, you waste of space.
It brings just a joy to the cockles of my heart every time we Twitch bans come up, and
And I just can't. His stupid face is there. The wretched existence of the mirrored, bespectacled buffoonery.
love it so much. I imitated it. Oh god.
I mean, I did find a Twitch ban, but it wasn't an interesting story behind it. It was like, who knows why he's banned? It's his second ban. That's all we got. I'm like, why did you even write an article about this? These places that are so thirsty for content.
How you can tell that they are paid by the word and not by the story.
Yeah, right? Hold on.
Instead of Twitch, have you heard of the new hype train they have? Ariella, I'm super excited you bring that up because I was going to mention it later in the program, and it's not taking the place of hype train. It's actually building the hype train. The hype train is actually getting a little bit deeper.
I hadn't heard about that.
Well, while we're here,
Yeah.
let's user content it because I wanted to read it from the word of law, and that being
Straight from Twitch's newsletter.
help.twitch.tv.
Okay.
Beginning this
Which
March,
is the law of the land.
we are experimenting with Boost Train, a hype train with additional benefits. Boost Train will blast your hype train to new levels by promoting your stream to new viewers. These changes that are being made and things like that are not going to be available to all streamers all at once, and you can opt out of them.
Oh, is this that feature where like people pay to get your stuff seen by more? That boost thing?
So, I'm so glad you remembered that, because it's not. It's the, hey, people really didn't like that, let's do this instead.
Okay, how is it functionally different?
Because instead of it being
I wanted
a
him to say
separate
it's not.
service, instead of being a separate service of you're paying specifically for this, it's literally as you make a hype train, this is one of the byproducts of it now.
Okay.
And so what we're talking about is Boost Train is a supercharged hype train where viewers can purchase reoccurring or gift subscription or use bits to unlock a boost reward in addition to other hype train rewards.
Okay.
Emotes, streamer rewards, and things like that.
Yeah.
The boost reward promotes creators' channels to highly visible parts of Twitch. This promotion can help more viewers discover you, your community, and your content. Revenue earned during a boost train will be the same for all subs, gifts, and bits.
Okay.
So they literally took. I'm so stoked you remembered that, so I didn't have to be like, remember when they were gonna do. It's literally just your standard bits, your standard subscriptions, and your standard donations through Twitch and things like that, that people are able to create a hype train. For those of you that have never seen a hype train before, it is where 3 people either subscribe in a span of 5 to 10 minutes or cheer over over 1,000 bits in concurrence with a couple of subs being gifted or resubscribed to the channel. And I'm super excited for it because what it basically means is it's more incentive for people to do that $5 resubscribe, and then for someone to cheer 1,000 bits or someone to subscribe
Yeah.
or gift stuff, things like that. And what it basically is going to mean that as subscriptions grow and things like that, we are then going to be able to be more hyped about this stuff.
Yeah, and like when you're having a moment that is building up a hype train, it's getting out there for more people to be able to join in on that moment. That's really cool.
It is going to increase the caps that are required to level up the hype trains that occurred and things of that nature. They didn't explain specific metrics because they are still testing them. They absolutely encourage you to have auto mod on because Twitch still acknowledges that there are some problematic behaviors with things like that. And they did talk about, can I opt out of Boost Train if you don't want to be visible for these things? And you can just go into your Twitch settings and turn off people's ability to form a hype train.
Good.
So you're all set on all these things. It is experimental currently. So, for example, Insane Games TV might get it, but Boaterbug might not.
Right.
DGM314 might not get it, but Love Alec might. Like of the many streamers.
Yeah, so it's not universally rolled out. It's something that they're trying out.
They're trying it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, they will get rid of it like they usually do. But Ariella Dragonsbane, thank you so much for pitching that story to us. And you folks out there, please, for Pete's Dragon, you are wonderful people. You tune in, you chat with us, and we love to talk about the things that are catching your eye, and things of that nature.
Welcome, more like Rigor Mortis, and Demon Dragon. Hope everyone's doing well.
Mr. Wet.
So thank you everyone for being here. Dave, since I couldn't find anything about anyone being banned over the last 7 days.
But tell me, Boater, what of Dr. Disrespect?
Oh, I don't even care. It's something about, like literally all the coverage was, oh, actually, I suppose I do have some news about Dr. Disrespect that I was going to wait until later.
Yes!
But let's go into the NFT roundup, everybody.
Toot toot!
So
wait, Steve, did you put up that picture? of the crypto car on fire? Did you keep that or did you take it down? Come on,
Okay.
Steve, I want it.
Well, that'll happen eventually. But so Dr. Disrespect is either working with or head of a gaming company called Midnight Society, and the game that they're working on, sure enough, uses NFTs. They did a new drop of 10,000 NFTs, selling for the equivalent of about $50 a pop. And of course, number one, shame. Number two, when you go to the site talking about the NFT drop, the main banner image, the first one in the rotation, is a still from the teaser for Cyberpunk 2077. Art theft in crypto, everybody. It's a great thing. The excuse given is that a web engineer, quote, accidentally uploaded the incorrect image, which, what did I write down here? Accidentally uploaded the incorrect image, which, yeah. You don't. That's not how it works. You just got caught. You use cool imagery because you thought you could get away with it because you're thinking it's fucking GeoCities circa 1997. It's not how it works. Stop art theft in NFTs and crypto, and use your own shitty art so that people can see what a fucking fraud you really are. That's what I got for Dr. Disrespect in NFTs. I'm gonna go get my pen that I threw.
I do want to talk a little bit about something related to that, but while you're getting your pen.
Okay, go ahead.
A Facebook video does a very good job between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6:10 when I am still waking up and going for a morning deuce and things like that to give me my daily
the good old
taking
AM deuce
of videos that I don't think I would have looked at otherwise. And I appreciate them for that. I discovered, by the way, they're about to get the Insane Games TV bump. Donut Media, Car Channel, things like that. They need the bump from Insane Games TV, by the way. You're welcome.
Clearly.
But also...
Actually, they had a really good video talking about how Hot Wheels kind of won against like Matchbox and stuff. Okay, you're aware of the video?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes,
One
I
that was
am.
randomly
Our producer
recommended
knows
to
that
me,
video, too.
like on YouTube a few months ago. But yeah.
So I was also exposed to a small farm in Vermont called Goldshaw Farm. And
Okay.
they are posting videos, making content creation, talking about how this guy from the city had these ideas and wanted to execute them, and the life of working on living on a farm.
Okay.
And it's fun. I really enjoy it. I love the catch line that he's created for when he releases the ducks, because he goes, "Release the Quacken!" and the ducks come pouring out. Exactly. That's when I knew. I was like, I am here, and I'm going to stay.
I have such a weakness for like little catchphrases like
Yep.
that. Like I'm following this guy who was a cheesemaker in Australia, and I don't watch a single one of his videos, but I'm following him because I saw a Tumblr thing that was like, you have to watch this guy. He starts off every video with, "G'day, curd nerds." I have a thing for catchphrases. Release the Quacken.
Boner retire. You didn't come up with "Release the Quacken." Shame. Ooh. Did they say where in Vermont they are? I mean, they're listed. Their address is listed on their website, and I did consider. I was like, maybe like I try reaching out and being like, hey, could we do a nerd glasses
What are they
thing?
called again? It's
Goldshaw Farms.
okay.
They're not far from here, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
But long story short, linking back to the conversation we were having, which was very simple, that he posted a video where he was like, hey guys, I want to discuss the idea of potentially making NFTs as a revenue stream for the farm.
Oh no.
And here's my idea.
It's like northern Vermont, northeastern Vermont.
Yeah. It's still Vermont, though.
Yes. Yeah, it's about as far away as you can get from where we are while still being in Vermont, but it's Vermont. It's a couple hours.
But what made me laugh was the video was literally him talking about, here's the research that I did. Here are the ideas that I have, and I would love to hear from you guys about it.
Uh-huh.
And so he had to make a response video almost immediately talking about, and he started with, thank you for those of you that talked to me about it. I really appreciated your insight, this and that and the other. To the 5 people that thought it was a good idea, thank you, but we're not doing it. He said, And to the 90% of people that were making conversations, he's a really appreciate you. And he goes, and to the other like 5 people that, and then he showed like the metrics that like unfollowed me and like were like, you're dead to me because you're considering doing this idea and this other. And he's literally like, I don't know what you want from me. He's like, I'm having a conversation. Like,
Yeah.
if we can't talk about this, like, he goes, it's an idea that I had.
Yeah, if someone
He's
says,
like-
"Hey, I'm considering NFTs," don't take the chance to educate or to let them get educated, and then if they continue down the path, then do your hard unfollow. But give them
that's
that moment.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if someone opens a discussion to you, they want to talk about it. They don't want you to tell them that they are wrong. And if you are telling them they are wrong, they want it not to come in a you're talking down to them sort of shit cake way.
Mhm.
Because guess what? You're not going to convince anybody otherwise in any sort of form. If you come at someone with unbridled criticism, when they open up to a discussion topic,
Yeah.
you are not going to have a conversation with them.
No,
You
you're
are
just going to get
closing-
ignored.
Yeah, you're closing them off to a discussion that they wanted to have. Now, obviously, exceptions prove the rule on many things because I know everybody has that one thing that they just do not want to talk about. They do not want to hear about. And there are many topics that shouldn't be having a discussion on. But if a content creator
Yeah,
says, I want
it's-
to talk about blank,
Yeah,
Come
there are some things, such as the validity of people existing, that is immediately like, no. NFTs are not at that point. It's, okay,
wait a
we need
minute,
to have
wait
this
a minute,
discussion.
Poder. You're talking about how everybody's suddenly an expert on women's swimming and athletics? Because, boy howdy, was I super stoked to see that people suddenly gave a huge shat about that.
Yeah, all the people
Um,
that used to be expert virologists and then a couple of weeks ago were experts in no-fly zones of warfare are now experts on
Super
women's
glad
swimming.
that all of you high intellect folks are out there and are making sure that the dum-dums like me are well informed on so many very
Very
Very-
important things.
different topics.
All right, Dum Dum,
Super
why don't
glad.
we go over what's coming out in the next 7 days? Sorry, I just wanted to really
No.
use the segue to call David Dum Dum because we know that I don't mean it.
That's totally
No,
fine.
no, here's the thing. When I call you a Dum Dum, Dave, I'm referring to you as the best possible thing that could show up in my Halloween basket. That came out a little more sexual than I intended.
Well, good night, everybody. So, more like rigor mortis, exactly. The internet. Yes, finally, my time to shine. I have obscure uninformed opinions on things, and I will use them in cap locks.
The mystery flavor. Oh my god. All right, mystery flavor, tell us about what's coming out this week.
Nerd Glasses Podcast. More and more forbidden content since.
Oh my god. I'm just going to call you mystery flavor now.
Oh, God.
That's a fantastic, terrible nickname.
That's.
No, it's great. It's fine. Somebody, hey baby, what's your mystery flavor? Whatever. Just let the fan fiction must flow.
Better to have fan fiction made of you than none at all. It means people care more about you and your content and your doings on.
Oh,
So
publicity is good publicity.
I mean, it's true. Nowadays, we have a whole segment dedicated to people getting banned on a platform. No press is bad press. Like, oh, speaking of which.
Oh my gosh.
What else can I help you with?
Dave, it's
Shut up, Bobby! Sorry, I just had to. Okay. Speaking of no press is bad press, I did manage, by the way, to find something unprecedented 2 weeks in a row, and I fact checked this. In all the years of doing Nerd Glasses, this is the second week where all of the games and multiple games are coming out on the same day.
okay.
And it's because, my God, this week on Friday, hang on to your bank accounts, people.
Oh,
because
no.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
There are so many good things coming out for so many different people, and I'm excited to share them with you guys. I do have to turn off the headset because Steve is doing some editing, and I don't know if it's coming on stream, but I'm hearing it in my headset.
I just have my headset volume turned down. I don't know.
But the first game, are you a fan of Borderlands?
I thought you were going to say, are you afraid of the dark? Wow, this is a scattered... Borderlands. I played the first game. I haven't played any since then, and it's been 8 years. But I enjoyed it.
So, you know what? Really quick, if we have time, a table topic can absolutely be something that happens to seemingly only Dave at the network here, that I've talked a lot about on my Discord, but I want to bring up on Nerd Glasses either this week or next week. About things that only happen to Dave here at night when he's alone in the studio, and it happened live on Citadel last week. So speaking of afraid of the dark, but you don't need to be afraid of the dark coming this Friday, because for Windows, for PlayStation 4 and 5, and for Xbox One and the Series X and S, we're looking at a game that is an expansion, a successor to some Borderlands 2 DLC that was so much fun that it spawned its own $60 game. We are, of course, talking about... Wait for the reveal on Nerd Vision. We are, of course,
Dave,
talking about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a return to Bunkers and Badasses from Borderlands 2.
Nice.
This game is going to have everything but the kitchen sink, and then probably the kitchen sink as well. It's got big name voice actors in it, of which I did not bother to look up all the names of, because listen to the voice lines for yourself. It's actually more fun to hunt them. But it is 4-player co-op, either online or couch play.
Okay. Oh, yay, local.
Big change on so many different games. And unlike in previous Borderlands games, where your character and your skills and skill sets and things that are chained to what character you picked, this time around, God, Ariella Dragonsbane on fire today with the builds on the stories. Thank you. Mwah. Character customizations.
Nice.
You have 6 different skill trees that you can choose to on your character, as opposed to picking a character, what the character looks like, and the skill tree is based upon what the character you picked.
Okay.
I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited enough that I really was looking through my budget to see if I could buy this to play it.
But then there's other Friday releases.
Yeah. So this game is absolutely going to blow the doors off of Twitch. If you haven't played the DLC from Borderlands 2, never a bad time to try it out. Never a bad time to jump on into it. This game is going to be played by a great many people for here to eternity. And I'm really excited about it. And to be honest, it's not the most well, this is kind of the game that I'm most excited about, but it's not the most exciting and broad game coming out this Friday. We're looking at one of the last they released a standalone of the DLC and everyone hated it. That's really sad. Bunkers and Badasses was
weird.
fun. Exactly. So it seems like they learned, because they took such a great idea and expansion. And the game does cover, by the way, how do you put fantasy RPG elements and have guns, and the response to it is, "Shut up, new guy!" Actually, they did answer that in the fact that you're going to have a 5th weapon slot, and it can only be a melee weapon.
Okay.
So they're encouraging you to get in and get in that bloodbath.
What's next?
Wow. One of a Bethesda Softworks game that is a timed release for the PlayStation
Bethesda,
5.
are we getting another Skyrim?
I wish. I really do wish.
You wish.
But
Okay.
this one, you have definitely seen ads for it. We are, of course, talking about this Friday coming to Windows and PlayStation 5. That would be Ghostwire Tokyo. A really interesting game in
I
the
must have
premise.
missed it.
And it's an action adventure, self-described combination of karate and magic, combining psychic powers and paranormal abilities. Detective KK, not KK Slider and not DJ
Oh.
KK, but Detective KK, must figure out what happened to Tokyo because overnight, swaths of the population just disappeared.
Okay.
And in its place, these paranormal phenoms appeared in Tokyo, and it is your job to figure out what happened to the peoples and face the unknown as they describe in it. It is one of the last timed exclusives coming from Bethesda Softworks for PlayStation.
Right. Okay. So this is one that was like in the works for a while before.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. I'm very excited for it. Once again, another $60 purchase that I would make if $60 fell onto my lap. But this will be a game, once again, to check out if you're curious, if you don't have a PlayStation 5, but are curious about exploration in a medium, not using your standard shooter controls.
Yeah.
The controls themselves, which I'm very excited that Steve found this trailer and is using it. Like, what an interesting way of dealing with...
It seems like a really cool way to use the really granular feedback that controller can give you. Definitely be worth trying out. Like, it feels like, it's using so much of that. Part of me is like, oh, well, it must just be really gimmicky and, like, actually bad from gameplay, but I guess we'll see.
So, you're not wrong, because a lot of games, when they look like this, are gimmicky and bad upon release.
Yeah, like, my gimmick meter is, it smells really gimmicky.
It's so you're saying it's somewhere between Oreos and conspiracy baseball?
I'm saying that it looks like it's maybe a couple steps up from some of the Wii shovelware.
Hey, but that's the
But we'll
reality of it.
see.
It's not out yet. We don't have an advanced copy, but we could. Studios, you could start sending us this stuff. We'd be happy to do reviews.
And if you guys want to know what this is like, let us know in our Discord, and we'll try to follow up and see what reviews say when it comes out on Friday.
But the third game, to be honest, is the one that I'm kind of the most hyped about, and I'm very excited. It is, of course, a game that a Nintendo Direct gave us, and that is, of course, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, where all that famous picture of Kirby eating a car came from.
I know nothing else about this game, but I know Kirby eats a car.
So it is a Kirby is magically transported. Stop me if you've heard this before. Kirby is magically transported. I know, for the 17th main story game installment, he is transported to a new place called.
Oh, is it called?
Forgotten
Is it
Land.
Sword Art Online again, just with Kirby?
Kind of.
Can you imagine?
Kirby is best Kirby. Dude, Icarus, I can't argue. Can't argue. Transported to a forgotten land, as you see in the trailer here. He must save the
He looks kind of pissed, like, oh, fuck, not again.
Waddle Dees from the baddies called the Beast Pack. As I had stated, it is the 17th mainline Kirby installment game. As usual, it is a platformer, and my God, that little squishy fella! Look at him just running
That
around.
looks so adorable.
Can you believe that Kirby was a placeholder at one point?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That little nugget of information that every bad podcast gives you. Did you guys know that Kirby wasn't actually supposed to be the hero of the Kirby games, but they just couldn't think of anything at the time, so they just did him.
Yeah, they just did that and be like, we'll put something else in later. But they realized it has 2 eyes and a mouth and is shaped like a friend. And why would you want to change that?
Not gonna lie, it kind of looks like Seattle. Well, I mean, the Seahawks lost Russell Wilson. They're going downhill. It would make sense that Kirby would move in.
There was way too much fucking sunshine for Seattle. I'm sorry.
That's true. Well, it is
There
post-apocalyptic.
is no way
Seattle.
that is the Pacific Northwest.
Something could have happened. But this game, it's coming as a celebration of something, and I will segue into one of our first stories as well because of this. So Kirby and the Forgotten Land coming out this Friday for your Nintendo Switch. Ready your games, ready your wallets, prepare your pre-orders. But going along with the release,
this Friday, be like, give me.
Yeah, shut up and take my money. Bitch better have my games. August 11th, this
Hope I
year
remember
is
my
celebrating the
wallets over
30th anniversary of our friend Kerbo.
Uh-huh.
Very excited for it. And they did announce that on August 11th of 2022, Kirby's going to be having a 30th anniversary music fest
Okay.
at the Tokyo Garden Theater. So, Boater, we're going to be packing our bags and going and watching on every other social media platform where they are posting the video for all of us to enjoy here in the States.
So, well, we're packing our bags to like come to the studio and watch it on the TV here, but we're gonna make like
A nest.
a tent.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a pillow fort.
Yep.
And sleep in our onesie pajamas.
It is advertised as it's going to be medley of your favorite Kirby songs and things like that. And they specifically mentioned on the event page, which was a little bit weird, that there's going to be an LED monitor with Kirby on it throughout the duration of the concert. And I cannot tell what that means or what that's going to entail, but the promos for it and things like that, I'm kind of excited because they've already.
I kind of hope it's like a slightly outdated Jumbotron kind of thing, where it's just like a pixel array of whatever, and it's just Kirby there, like watching the concert and being like, "Yay, I recognize this one," kind of thing. But it's just standing there watching the concert.
What they've already rendered is some of Kirby and King Dedede and a bunch of the other heroes playing instruments. And so I'm kind of hoping they kind of gorillas it, which is my closest amalgamation to it, and just have like a little Kerbo band playing all the songs behind the actual band playing all the songs.
Ends up being Kirby Fantasia.
Shut up and take my money, even though they already advertised that it's going to be free. But yes, more like Rigor Mortis and Ariel Dragon's Bane. Snacks.
Snacks.
Yes,
Go pack some snacks.
Snacks. We're going to get some s'mores. So very excited for the next 7 days. Super stoked this Friday is so action-packed
Yeah.
in game releases and things like that. Once again, as we have feast and famine with gaming. Buckle in, because remember, over the summer, it gets real dry real fast.
Yeah. We're in for a bit of a wild ride for the next month or so, though. Dave, what have you been playing? What have you been doing recently? I mean, you played a game of the franchise that shall not be named last week on the Citadel, and I appreciate you filling in for me there. Grab that crate of popcorn
Oh, no,
chicken.
you can name it. I can't.
Dave played Gundam, and he also said the word Gundam a bunch. I'm gonna do a supercut of that and throw it up on my YouTube channel.
Pretty sure I said it like 6 times. Like,
Oh, at least.
thankfully, by the end of it, it was just me reading things and blowing through it, and then realizing after I said it in the sentence being like,
Oh
damn
no, it was in the dialogue.
Like,
You definitely missed at least half the times you said it.
it was so much fun, and I really appreciated the opportunity to stream on the Citadel, and especially to play that game on stream. And it was a blast. But I was playing that, some more Elden Ring as usual.
Keep talking. I'm gonna go get my wallet before I forget I
Valheim
do it
with
over
my
there.
friends over on Love Alex channel. But I did post some discussion topics and things like that, and we talked about it with Sustaina last week, talking about Activision Blizzard. The turnover is getting quicker. Grab that crate of popcorn chicken. Done. It shall be. We have an air fryer
Yeah, I
here.
saw- I
Like,
saw-
it can be done.
I saw you on
So-
stream a couple days ago.
So I posted to my community Discord, and we had the discussion last week and in the past and in certain things, talking about Activision Blizzard, the changeover of things like that. I will not beat a dead horse because I had like an hour and a half discussion with some people on Thursday, or Thursday, and then like another 45-minute discussion with some folks on Friday. And I was really grateful for the folks that came to talk about these things. But Overwatch is back on the menu, boys, and we're gaming, we're playing. It is a matter of time until Warzone returns. Um, but in still showing and things like that, either the stream title or things like that will have a better ABK, things like that in it. Discussion topics will be led and things like that during the stream as it has in the past. But was super excited to be playing Overwatch once again. Really stoked to have Dude Icarus back playing Overwatch with me. And the rest of the crew immediately reinstalling the game and coming back and playing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blast.
Nice.
My competitive ranking, of course, tanked immediately. But it does hurt when you're playing a team game by yourself. But it was so much fun to play Overwatch. I really did miss the game. And it was a great amount of fun to return to the heroes. Playing Reinhardt again, charging through and squishing those shitty DPS players, and then playing a healer in places where you didn't think it would be appropriate to playing a healer and finding successes like in deathmatch and stuff like that. But it was a blast. I have extra copies. Take one of them home. It's cross-platform now too, so like it was so much fun, and it scratched such an itch. I do one more bit of business, and then I do want to find out what you've been watching and turning over to, which was I was also super stoked that we were able to kind of welcome our friend friend of the channel, friend of this stream, Kai. Is now back home. He recovered from his surgery and was able to hang out with us. And unfortunately, not able to game with us because we lost a lot of games because Kai wasn't there. But we're super stoked that you are back home and recovering and on the mend. Much love to you, Akai. We look forward to gaming with you in the future. We got to get you here in the studio sometime, my brother. So that was kind of my last 7 days. How about you?
Let's see. Watching, it was cool because 10-minute Power Hour from the Game Grumps came back. That's Aaron and Dan basically doing some stupid thing at a table. Sometimes it's like stop motion animation. Sometimes it's they're trying to figure out an easy bake oven without the instructions. Stupid stuff. And this time for the return, they came back with Unis Honest or Ethan and Markiplier, and the four of them together in a room. I'm still recovering from a throat and chest cold, so I was laughing a lot and coughing a lot because I couldn't my breathing apparatus couldn't handle it. It was fantastic to see them back. Also watching.
That's right, Game Grumps, getting the Nerd Glasses Insane Games TV bump. You're welcome.
Yeah, welcome back.
Get
you
us
need
back
that bump.
sometime.
It's been a while. Also watching, I found a YouTube channel called Boylai Hobby Time, and this is dioramas. So like sometimes it's Star Wars stuff. He did a lot of stuff when Mandalorian Season 2 was coming out, but I actually discovered him as he was doing like this kind of steampunk, Wild West, kind of like small dioramas with like a covered wagon converted into a mech being chased by a monster kind of thing. And that's been just really cool to watch. He has a kind of relaxing voice as he's narrating his work on it. Yeah, and it's been kind of nice to have as I'm like, all right, one video before bed kind of thing. As for playing, hold on. Excuse me. Apologize, whatever. So I mentioned when I was on 2 weeks ago.
Apologize.
Sorry, eh? I mentioned when I was on 2 weeks ago that I was starting to play through Halo again. And I had just started Halo Combat Evolved. The first weekend that I was sick, I played Halo 2 on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I played Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST. I played through all of Halo. Since then, I played through all of Halo Reach, all of Halo 4, and I have now started Halo 5. Basically everything except Halo Wars. Like, and I watched all the cutscenes from Halo Infinite, but I wasn't gonna play the Spartan Ops or Halo Infinity. I wasn't gonna play Halo 4 Spartan Ops again, but I've been playing a shitload of Halo, and I'm really excited to play through Halo 5 and then finally get to Halo Infinite. Especially because Dan apparently is shit talking with Halo, and he's like, "Oh, your boater challenging me," and I'm like, "Did I challenge Dan? I might have said something along the lines."
He challenged all comers! That's right, baby! Boater's back in the comp seed, and he's gonna take you to the cleaners, and you to the cleaners, and especially you!
And Dan was just shit-talking so much of like, "Oh, you think it was bad when Tom wiped the floor with you? It's gonna be even worse when I face you." And to which Mike is like, "Oh, are you actually challenging Boater?" He's like, "No." But like between that and like throwing the gauntlet down for Mario Kart, it's like, dude, you gotta relax. Like, do you remember when he was like, "Oh, we're gonna do speed building of the Lego, the street sweeper, the
Yeah.
garbage truck, whatever."
That was fun!
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Do you remember who came in last when it came to speed building that?
Me.
It was Dan.
Oh.
Yeah, I completed the thing in 9 minutes 16 seconds. You were 9:52. He finished in 10:38. Like, don't get me wrong, Dan. If we play Halo, he's probably gonna win, but it's not gonna be nearly as bad of an ass whooping as I got from Tom. Dan,
So, you know what? Actually, I'm really tired of this happening on this network. 2 weeks from now on the Nerd Glasses, anybody and everybody who wants to face Boater, show up or shh.
If Dan wants to play me in Halo, here are my stipulations. Number one, if it's going to be Halo Infinite, give me the time to get to the game. Like I said, I'm doing Halo 5.
2 weeks from now,
Then
Nerd
I'll do
Glasses.
Infinite. Then I got to figure out the actual multiplayer maps. Number two, Tom will play the winner.
2 weeks from now.
So if Dan beats me, then Tom gets to wipe the floor with him. And on the off chance I beat Dan, then he gets to watch Tom wipe the floor with me. Third, it should be during St. Jude Play Live so we can raise money for the kids while I'm getting my ass handed to me.
April 5th. The gauntlet hath been thrown.
That's not during Play Live. May 5th maybe. We'll push it.
April 5th. We're going to force this because otherwise people are just going to keep talking about it instead of doing. Do the do. Fight the Boater.
Those are my stipulations. If it's Halo Infinite, give me
Mr.
time.
Wet, Dan versus Boater, matchup of the century.
Oh man, like Dan's probably gonna win. Like I'm not deluding myself. Dan is probably gonna win. I haven't been playing. I mean, aside from catching up on single player, I haven't done Halo multiplayer in a long time. Whatever. It's rubbing me the wrong way. The way that he's tossing down gauntlets, like fucking. I threw it on the ground. Like, dude,
2 weeks
calm
from
down.
now, Halo Infinite. Anybody who wants to come in and face Boater and maybe me, I don't know why you would want to fight me, but you can fight the Nerd Glasses.
Oh no, Tom
in
and Dan
Halo
versus you and me.
Infinite. Ow!
It'll be during May for St. Jude Play Live, because it's if I'm gonna get my ass humiliated that much, I at least want to be raising money for kids doing it. Otherwise, yeah.
Fine. You know what? I'll redender all these things. Do we want to just say May 10th?
Sure.
May 10th. So that's wait. I will not be here May 10th.
Okay.
Oh my God! No
May
wonder that
3rd.
sounded so familiar.
May 3rd.
I'm going to be at a wedding that I'm officiating. May the 3rd. May the 3rd. Any and all comers can fight the Nerd Glasses in one-on-ones if you're really feeling frisky and you want to fight the boatman himself. He's going to back it up, he's going to park it in, and he's going to put those size...
I'm gonna put on a damn good show when I lose. That's all I'm saying. May the
What
3rd
size
be
are those
with you.
shoes?
11.
Those size 11s squarely in your keister!
And they're New Balance, so Dan can yell about that too. Remember when I winged one at his head?
Out of frustration with, and by the way, since you brought it up, in that moment, Dan was right. He was right. The topic that got you so mad and you threw a shoe at him, Dan was right about. But that's
I mean,
right.
we were basically just yelling about Ninja.
Gauntlet, other streamers, other people on Insane Games TV, May the 3rd, St. Jude's Play Live time. Ba-boom!
Sure. Meanwhile, if you want to actually hear my thoughts as I played through 6 Halo games in the past 2 weeks. Ask me on Citadel, I guess, my comparison of them. It was really weird going from Bungie to 343 and being like, oh, they changed things just because they could. So, I don't know, we'll see. Halo 5 definitely course corrected a bit, but I enjoy the story of Halo. I mean, I know that you're still amped up and like yelling about things, but I enjoy the story of Halo.
Good.
So, I'm interested to see what Infinite does. I'm a little apprehensive because it, like, from some respects that I've heard, it like throws away some of the stuff that happened in 5 and does open world stuff, and I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, that's what I've been watching and playing. And letting Dave be my hype man.
I like being the hype man. It's easy.
I just want you with like big old Don King hair behind me, like while I'm playing.
Excuse me, on the May the 3rd stream, I will absolutely dress up as Paul Heyman. I will absolutely somehow figure out how to get
Don't
a
know
bald
who
cap.
that is.
Oh, you will learn who Paul Heyman is. I imitate him a lot. And I will absolutely scream, but I will tell you that if you are facing Dan and Tom, they are technically my clients first. So you might be on the other end of a Dave screaming, just as a heads up.
If it's on Nerd Glasses, I think you got to be on my side. But if it bleeds over into Citadel, then you can.
Ariella Dragons Bay knows who that is. Party City Road Trip says Dude Icarus. Super stoked for making this stuff and doing all these things. Do we want to get to any of the topics that we
of the news? Yeah, I'd love to.
By the way, I just once again before let's halt the brakes of talking about news. I'm really stoked that we do get to do this with you guys every week, and thank you to everybody who joins in and participates with us in any form, shape, be it sharing the go lives on social media, be it interacting with us here live on Twitch, be it checking out the VODs once they're posted, looking at the highlights that Steve does such a great job of creating and doing for us. And thank you for that, Steve.
And thank you for tagging me in the highlights when Dan starts shit talking again, so I know that I gotta respond.
And I really it makes for so much fun, and for the evolution of this program to have the fact that for 57 minutes we have just been talking about so many different things and having what I hope is a great time, because I mean you people are still here, so but Boater, anything that's stuck in your craw that you want to talk about?
Let's see here. So a couple weeks ago we talked about the bundle on itch.io that was raising money for Ukraine. They ended up raising over $6 million. By the time I realized, oh crud, I still got to get on that, I was 3 hours late.
Oh.
But that's fine, because then Humble Bundle, very shortly after that, picked up the slack and has a bundle of 123 games. I dare say higher end games, more AAA games, Sunset Overdrive, stuff like that. For $40 for 123 games, $40 benefiting Ukraine. As of earlier today, it has raised over $12 million, that one campaign alone. So between that and then, like, I don't know the exact amount, but I guess within Fortnite and within Call of Duty there have been like skins for sale, or like the current Fortnite Battle Pass is all going towards Ukraine. There's been a lot of really cool stuff here.
That's awesome, and I'm super proud of us as a gaming community that we're able to do things like this. It's not one philanthropic person donating $12 million. It's tens of thousands of gamers spending.
It's everybody pitching in what they can, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's all that I've got from there. What?
Anything else?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
You're ready to hit a button.
I'm very excited because CD Projekt Red recently made some headlines, and not for the reason that everyone has been talking about for years, because they still haven't fixed.
No, they have not.
Cyberpunk. But
Okay.
this isn't about that, because they released, and by the way, we're going to be showing this in Nerdivision. I love that Steve does the magic fingers too. It's the best. But they released this image. teasing us with the next Witcher game.
Nice.
Now, this image makes you kind of think maybe the next game will draw more inspiration from the television show, or the books, or this,
It's
or
yeah,
that, or
it's
the other.
interesting because they were books first, and then they were games, and the games did all right. Although Witcher 3 is the one that I think really exploded it.
Yes.
Then the TV series was huge. So it makes sense when they go back here that even if they're not like drawing from how the TV series did anything, whatever, that I think now this one, just by existing after the hugely popular TV series, is going to cash in on that popularity a little bit.
So if you're curious and if you want to, um, try wading through the millions and millions of bits of speculation based upon just that image.
Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
can't imagine.
But you know what's great? Someone's going to be right. It's that whole monkeys and typewriters will make Shakespeare eventually. Like, I didn't see that that's what the button is.
Yeah,
Ah!
Steve didn't change what the button said after it transfers. So while it said CD Projekt before we hit the button, now that the scene is active, it says CD's nuts. Actually, no, that probably was intentional. I saw D's nuts, Steve.
Um, what is a concrete fact is that CD Projekt Red is going forward going to be developing games using the Unreal Engine 5
Nice.
as opposed to the in-house Red Engine.
Okay.
Now, do you remember who owns the Unreal Engine?
Epic.
That's right, our little brother in Epic Games. They will likely, here's my wild speculation, be getting some sort of exclusive distribution on the Epic Games Store when that game comes out. Because they are
I don't
using
think so.
the
Like, no,
Unreal
but
Engine.
so much stuff uses
So
Unreal.
no, that's my speculation. Now you disagree with it. Now,
I do disagree with that because Unreal is almost like the industry standard. And I don't see just using the engine to be something that is going to signify any sort of distribution exclusivity. So that's my take.
Well, one of us is going to be right, and one of us is going to definitely be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong in life. But one image creating so much hype, creating such hope, because maybe I, as a PlayStation owner, won't be AAA fantasy genreless when this game does eventually come out. Unlike the next installment of Skyrim, which I definitely will not be getting. It'll definitely be an Xbox exclusive. So, speaking of things that are kind of cool, and we've talked about here on the past programs, the Dead Space remake
Yeah.
has been getting a lot of press. It got a lot of news. A lot of people were very excited
Yep.
about it. A lot of people were very down on it.
Okay.
EA and Motive, the company working on the remaster, released a 60-minute behind the scenes
Ooh.
this past week, showing more progress about the game. And you
You
know
don't see
what?
behind the scenes stuff too much anymore. Like when I think of that, I think like mid 2000s you'd see Dev Diaries a lot.
Yes. This one being the fact that the game has been radio silent for a while, and they want to make sure that people know that this game is going to be getting the love and care that an IP remake of Dead Space's caliber deserves, in their opinion.
Yeah.
Which, for me, as a fan of the original Dead Space, one of the few games that I 100%ed from cover to cover, yes. And I like all the things that I'm seeing. They added what's going to be called the Alive system, which is going to help with the game engagement and things like that. And I will go into what Alive means, but if you want to know more about specifics about it, definitely check out the dev video. The Alive system: adrenaline, the limbic system response, intelligent dialogue, vitals, and exertions. This is all affecting how
I want everyone to know that I was trying so hard to think of something sarcastic for E, and I just could not think of anything. I wanted to interrupt with something stupid so bad, and I was just totally blanking.
it, It's a really cool system. It's going to be implemented in the remake of Dead Space, and it is going to.
So
do
it's very
nothing-
much like not just a remaster, but a remake in the same vein that like Final Fantasy VII was a remake from the ground up kind of thing.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yep, that is why they're doing remake instead of rematch.
Yeah.
I'm really
Sometimes
excited
the
about
line is blurred, but
They did also confirm that it is going to be an early 2023 release.
okay.
They are on track for that release window. Specifically what day, they would not say. But if that 60-minute teaser, mouth-wettening, delicious footage is anything to go on, my God, is that going to be so much fun. It's going to be so good. Things that were released that didn't go so well, though.
Oh.
Gran Turismo 7 had patch 1.07. You know, 1 point something in the patch system.
Yeah.
Which, Boater, would you mind, for the people out there that don't necessarily have any idea of what that could mean?
I mean, it's an early patch. I mean, it's 1.07 is probably the 7th decent sized patch that they put out. If they needed to do anything minor, then that might go out as like 1.071 or something like that. But usually these are incremental things where they are doing bug fixes, game stability. A 1.1 patch might be a decent amount of content added to the game. Certainly a 2.0 patch would be a major overhaul.
So,
I don't think that Gran Turismo is going to get to a 2.0 kind of patch. Those are usually more for like live service games. Certainly while I had been playing Elite Dangerous, I was playing from like 0.8 up through like 2.7 or something.
firstly, thank you for elaborating on that for myself and everyone, because that's exactly what they attempted to do. But unfortunately, when 1.07 went live, a whole mess of players, because of an error in the login, couldn't get into the game that requires you to be connected to the internet to play.
And like they couldn't even play single player.
Nope, because it's a part of the lobby systems and menus and things like that. They were locked out of the game for 24 plus hours.
We've been over this for like 10 years. People hated Diablo 3 for this shit. If you have a game where you can do single player with nothing online, just fucking let us do it offline.
This is the 25th anniversary of Gran Turismo. Even Gran Turismo Sport didn't completely need online. And that wasn't even like a full game. The patch, not only did it make the game unplayable, but it also revamped some in-game rewards for races, which is a big way of unlocking new cars and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Now, you would think, well, maybe they want to make it harder or things like that. And in the past Gran Turismo games, that may be. But you know what they added to this game that hadn't been present in a lot of the previous games?
Premium currency that you need to buy with real dollary dues. Was that added in this patch?
It wasn't added. It was a part of the game to begin with. But this patch in particular revamped a lot. It was also in Gran Turismo
Okay.
Sport. This basically doing the same thing that an equatable situation was looking at the cost of heroes in Star Wars Battlefront. This basically going on and things like that. And unfortunately, the company, when people said, by the way, you're kind of pushing us into trying to use this premium in-game currency to buy our cars and things when you used to let us be able to get at them by playing, the game that we bought for full price.
Uh-huh.
They went down and they said that cars are important to us and we don't want them to become devalued by becoming more common and things like that. Now,
How dare the commoners be able to drive the virtual vehicles that were put in our game? Only the proletariat can have access to all of the vehicles. Fuck you, that's almost the same shit as NFT fucking developers are saying. If you have a vehicle in the game, make it available for players to play. And like, I kind of understand when it's DLC, but even that is kind of eh. But if you are hiding vehicles behind real world currency, stop it. I'm throwing a lot of stuff today.
Gran Turismo 7 has won a very cool award, which is that they had, at the time,
Oh,
become the lowest rated Sony game on Metacritic,
I mean, like,
which says something
I
about...
mean, it does, but at the same time, I'm kind of done reporting on review bombing.
I mean,
Like,
that's for you to say.
It's like, okay, it does say that there's an issue, but at the same time, a fan base can get riled up over the most stupid shit.
Mhm.
And then
we do here
take
on
to
Nerd Glasses
Steam
all
or
the time.
Metacritic or something to yell about it. Like, I think we talked about Steam reviews a couple weeks ago going down because of... Oh, I forget what it was. And then, like, Steam had to step in and change the mixed review back to mostly positive because of some review bombing thing. But anyway, sorry, continue. Yes, they
this
do hold that.
being
They did hold that dubious honor.
the lowest graded Sony game in an era where does everyone have a PS5? Oh no. Are the console wars heating up? Yeah. Boy howdy, you better get on fixing that. Because Sony is not going to look favorably upon that, and especially being that is one of the big franchises, not some throwaway game.
Yeah.
That they this is a banner Sony
Gran
game.
Turismo was a tentpole for them. Not as much recently because they've been so slow with the games coming out, but it is a big deal when they do come out. So stop messing up your tent poles with microtransaction bullshit.
Exactly. Super interesting, also super disheartening. Speaking of disheartening, for those of you that have watched me streaming, for those of you that have followed me on social media and things like that, you know that I love me some pinball.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wet knows all about the physique it takes to play pinball and things of that nature. But I was pretty peeved the other day when Zen Studios, the creators of Pinball FX3, released the Williams Indiana Jones pinball table.
Okay.
It is an amalgamation of the Indiana Jones main story films, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Ark of the Covenant, you know,
Temple
the
of Doom.
classics with
Yeah.
the Harrison Ford and
The
all
original,
your
the original trilogy
yes.
of Indiana Jones.
Now, for a digital pinball table, it requires a lot of setup. They do really cool things. They deconstruct the pinball table in real life. They take pictures of the play field. They get all these things photo accurate. I think Pinball FX has fucking terrible pinball physics. The ball feels very floaty, which is why I don't play it. Suck eggs, Zen Studios. You're bad at it. And putting cartoon characters around the tables doesn't make it any better with the fact that you don't have the ball physics in a pinball game. Gotta put your hips into it or you aren't trying, says Mr. Wet. Exactly.
Can I make a guess on? So I'm guessing that they messed up this table somehow.
They
really
did,
egregiously.
but not for the reason that I'm hyping it up to, but please.
I would guess it would be a soundtrack licensing thing. They don't have the John Williams score or something like that.
Thankfully, the table itself, a couple of years ago, another studio had the license for all these things, and I was very happy. And I would stream these games in a game called Pinball Arcade. You can watch on previous weekend Wednesdays. Myself and Lonnie rocked these games. Unfortunately, they lost the license for the Williams and Bally tables, and Zen Studios picked them up. And since then, they just they mess with them.
Okay.
They don't do exactly as hard as things like that. But they did have all the original sights and sounds of the table. The problem is that the average pinball table in a pack is usually around $8.
Oh no.
And you get 3 pinball tables. Usually it's like a premium Williams one, made up one that they've done, and then one of the less popular tables that are just more simple, things like that.
This
This
was
one,
$12 for the one table.
this one clocks in by itself at $15.
God, I was gonna say 20, then I was gonna say 15. That still felt too high, so I said 12.
It's so for just again for $8 you could get 3, but for 15 you could get
Ba-ba-da-ba,
one
ba-ba-da,
license
ba-ba-da-ba,
console
ba-ba-da-ba,
for the Indiana Jones table.
ba-ba-da-ba,
So if you like to play it on your Switch when you're playing
ba-ba-da,
in mobile and things like that, but then if you want to play it on your PC at home or your PlayStation or your Xbox, you have to spend another $15 to get that table on that profile.
Mm.
Zen Studios, what are you doing? Who do you think these people
They're grabbing
are?
money from a niche player base that generally doesn't get the publicity to yell about things. But fortunately, we have the best platform of all, and Dave gets to bitch and moan and make our issues known to all of you.
What I appreciate, though, is that people are taking it to Zen Studios in the theme of the thing, a productive conversational manner. They're saying, hey, it feels really bad that this is $15, whereas previous and better received tables were less. Could you, at the very least, throw us a bone and start linking these accounts that we have on these things so that you're not dipping into my wallet 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 8 times on just one table.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm probably not going to be buying any Zen Studios Williams tables
Because
just
especially with a digital table, the physics needs to feel right. And if it doesn't,
they're bad.
then yeah.
They're just bad. If they fix them, I'll be really excited and I'll be the first one lining up to take my money. But until then, Zen Studios, get good. Scrub, what's wrong with you?
And that is probably going to wrap us for today. That's been over an hour now that we've been chatting here. I wish I could go for another hour, but I need to save my voice for the Citadel.
By the way, what's gaming on the Citadel after
I'm going
this?
to be playing it. What is it? How would you pronounce that? Elex? Elex? E-L-E-X. It's an Xbox One game that I grabbed off the shelf here. I know very little about it. It looked underwhelming. It's perfect for the Citadel. I can't wait to start playing it.
I'm going to say Elix.
Elex. Okay.
I'm going to say Elix, but I also mispronounce things
It's
just
true.
for the amusement of it.
So maybe we'll find out. Find out with me on the Citadel. We go offline. We take 5 minutes moving everything over. 10-minute countdown while I grab a snack, and then we are live playing that game by THQ Nordic. So I hope that you join me there. And I've been glad to be back on Nerd Glasses. My throat isn't at 100%, but I'm really glad I was able to be back as opposed to last week. And I really hope that we keep this going strong. And again, if I need to take another sick day, I'm gonna wait until it's a week where we have a really awful game for someone to blow your mind with.
I'm sure the gaming universe will render unto me tears and just confusion and fetal position.
In the meantime, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Remember that you can join the discussion in the Discord below. I'm going to be dropping something into Table Topics about copyright strikes with Destiny music that went far and wide, and Bungie's like, that wasn't me. So make sure that you check Table Topics sometime tomorrow for that. And make sure that you're following us right here for tons of great creators, great shows on the network all week. But in the meantime, I hope to see you on the Citadel. If not, we'll see you next week on the Nerd Glasses podcast right here. I've been Dave.
And I've been Boater.
Jesus Christ. And we'll see you next time.